You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Yesterday, there were thunderstorms in the Tampa Bay area. Not so today. It was a great day to hang out at the beach. Temperatures in the low 90s. But the Yankees will be hanging out at Tropicana Field. And prior to the game, they were getting their hot bats ready to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. As Benjamin Moore presents the Wednesday game of the week. It'll be the Yankees and the Rays in the third game of a four-game series from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with David Cohn. We have Game 3 for you tonight. As we said, the series stands at a game apiece. Now, a problem last year for the Yankees was run scoring. They finished near the bottom of that category in the league. But this year, starting play tonight, they are fourth in run scoring. And primarily, David, it's been because of the two hitters at the top of the order.
Yeah, if there's a better 1-2 punch going right now in Major League Baseball, I'd like to see them because these two guys have really set the table for the Yankees, and a great combination. Ellsbury batting leadoff, very aggressive hitter, very aggressive base runner, the perfect leadoff guy. And then when you slap Brett Gardner behind him, what a 1-2 punch they create. Gardner gives Ellsbury a chance to steal. Gardner's also shown some pop, too, as you can see. He's going to hit some home runs, too, behind Ellsbury, but they have scored 34 runs in the first inning combined. That is by far and away the best in Major League Baseball so far, and that is the story for the Yankees. When those two guys get going early in the game, they draw first blood.
Well, the last 16 games, look what they have done. They've hit 385 combined, 24 runs scored, 8 doubles, 16 runs batted in, 12 stolen bases. And during those 16 games, the Yankees are 11-5. Let's check out tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank, NA. See what know-how can do for you. For the Yankees, it's going to be Adam Warren. He's 2-1 with a 4.65 ERA, and the rookie Nathan Carnes will go for the Rays. He's also 2-1 with a 3.79. He's been pitching pretty well of late. When we come back here on Yes, another hot hitter in the Yankee lineup has been the cleanup man, Mark Teixeira. Meredith Marakovitz had a chance to catch up and let you know what's going on with the big first baseman.
Game 3 of the 4-game series between the Yankees and the Rays coming your way in just a couple minutes. Hi, I'm Meredith Morakovitz coming to you from the Rays tank right here at Tropicana Field. The Yankees will try to bounce back from last night's loss, and they've been incredibly resilient all season long. In fact, they haven't lost back-to-back games since April 14th and 15th. They'll also get Mark Teixeira back in the lineup. Joe Girardi opted to give him yesterday off. However, he's coming off a Monday night performance where he had 4 hits and an opposite field home run. Teixeira has notched 11 home runs this season, second best in the American League. And I caught up with manager Joe Girardi to ask him exactly what Teixeira has meant to this offense all season long.
When you think about the production we've gotten from him, the home runs, the RBIs, the quality of bats, the walks, everything that's involved and everything that you want him to do, and he's been big.
How nice is it for you to be able to pencil in a switch hitter as your cleanup guy?
Well, it makes it pretty easy on me. I can put him in there every day. I think he's hit third maybe once when I had a couple guys out, but it makes it easy.
A lot about the offense, but defensively as well. He's
stellar. I mean, he's a Gold Glove first baseman, so he's the whole package.
Although Teixeira has been impressive offensively, he's been equally good defensively as well. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. Ken Singleton and David Cohn coming your way next with Lineup's First Pitch Baseball right here on Yes.
Suites. Wake up on the bright side at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Book now at lq.com. By Mazda. Mazda is KBB.com's lowest cost-owned brand in over 5 years. And by RE/MAX. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Oh, that looks like it was a comfortable day for somebody just hanging out on a boat. But here, well, the energy is cranked up here at Tropicana Field as the Yankees get ready to take on the Rays. And here's the Yankees lineup for this evening, brought to you by Lexus. Jacoby Ellsbury will lead it off. He'll be in center field. Brett Gardner will be in left. The designated hitter is Alex Rodriguez, followed by the cleanup hitter, the first baseman Mark Teixeira. Brian McCann will be doing the catching. Carlos Beltran's in right field. Stephen Drew at third base. Jose Perez at second tonight. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, Didi Gregorius.
And they will be facing this guy, the right-hander Nathan Carnes, on the season. This will be his 8th start. Pretty good numbers really across the board. The only glaring thing that sticks out obviously is those 19 walks and 40 1/3 innings. But been very good, another rookie pitcher. Let's go ahead and give you the scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And as we just said, another rookie. This will be the 15th start by a rookie pitcher for the Rays out of 35. That is far and away the most in the major leagues. And good curveball? Yes, it is a good curveball. It was rated by Baseball America as the best curveball in the Rays organization coming up, and he throws it a lot. 26.4% of the time does he throw that curveball, which is third most in the major leagues, behind only Oakland's Drew Pomeranz. And free passes, we mentioned it before, the 19 walks stands out, and that's got to change for him. And if you're the Yankee lineup right now, that's what you're looking for. Get him deep in the count, see if you can work some walks off of him as well as hit the ball hard.
Well, here's Carnes. He's 27 years old. And this is his third start already this year against the Yankees. He started up at Yankee Stadium on the 27th. And here at Tropicana Field on April 17th. And here's the first pitch of the ball game. And it's inside for ball one. You mentioned the walks, David. He's also thrown 4 wild pitches. So every once in a while, the home plate will move around on him. Ellsbury takes high for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes. Ellsbury's up there. He's hitting 13 of his last 14 games, and you can see he's 5th in the league in average, 2nd in hits, 2nd in runs scored, and tied for 1st in stolen bases. Taking again, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. So Carnes a pitch away from putting a runner on who can move himself around the bases. And that is high, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to get things started in tonight's game. Let's check out the Rays on defense, presented by Geico. Let's go around the outfield first from left to right. It's Butler, Kiermaier, and Souza Jr. In the infield, Longoria, Cabrera, Forsythe, and Loney. And Bobby Wilson, the veteran catcher, doing the calling of the pitches for Mr. Carnes tonight. Rene Rivera, who caught last night's ball game, was a big factor on defense for the Rays. He threw out both Ellsbury and Gardner in 1 inning. And the last time a Rays catcher was able to do that was in 2008. It was Gianna Navarro. Ellsbury with a short lead at first. Gardner's at the plate. And he takes high and away, and Wilson's going to go out and talk to Nathan Carnes, who has yet to throw a ball in the strike zone.
Sometimes that first inning is always the toughest one for a starter. And you ask why? Well, he just warmed up for 20 minutes in the bullpen. You think he'd be loose, but it's a whole different feeling on the mound. It's a new skin, as we say on the mound. You've got to get your holes dug out, get your alignment right.
Well, same thing happened to Chris Archer last night. Happened to CC Sabathia on Monday night. They each struggled in the first inning. Next pitch, and that is high. Ball 2. Everything's been upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes on Gardner. You know he's going to be taking. And since April 26, 345, a couple of home runs, one of them in this series, and 12 runs batted in. Tried a curveball, and that misses. 3 balls and no strikes. Some of the Rays fans are getting impatient here.
Well, no doubt. Now the emotions set in. You can see he really just cut off that curveball.
Gardner's taking, and that is high, ball 4, and back-to-back 4-pitch walks to get it started for the Yankees. So the table setters, not so much with the hitting, but with the lack of strike throwing by Nathan Carnes, have set the table. And as you said, David, this has been a problem for him all year long. Well, we got an early disclaimer. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. I do not think I've ever done that in the first inning. Now, we have to get it in somewhere during the game, but I don't think I've ever done that in the first inning.
Good time for it.
Yeah.
Pitcher's visit, 2 walks in a row.
Yeah. Here's Alex Rodriguez. And I can almost guarantee you he'll be taking the first pitch. 2 on, nobody out for the Yankees. First pitch, a breaking ball, is high for ball 1. 9 consecutive pitches out of the strike zone to begin the game for Nathan Carnes.
You know, when you're in this situation, Kenny, and I have been, and the pitching coach comes out to visit you, you don't hear a word he's saying. I mean, you're just so consumed with trying just to throw a strike.
And you can hear the reaction from the crowd. That was strike 1. Alex Rodriguez had a home run in the opening game of this series. And that home run was his 50th career home run against the Rays. 50 of them. That pitch is high. 2 balls and a strike. So far it's been the fastball that he hasn't. That's usually your number 1 pitch for command, and he hasn't really been near the strike. Everything's been up and out of the zone. It's like he can't force the ball down.
You just can't make an adjustment. Making adjustments on the fly is the key for a young pitcher to learn.
2 on, nobody out. Foul tipped at the plate. The count evens at 2-2. You know, the thing about Carnes, we talked about his wildness. He's up there in walks, and you've seen it on display right here early with the back-to-back walks to Ellsbury and Gardner. He's very tough to hit. The league's only hitting 177 against him. That's the second best batting average against in the league. Dallas Keuchel of Houston has held opponents' hitters to a 163 batting average. So it's sometimes he's his own worst enemy on the mound. You walk a few guys, then you give up a hit. Then you got trouble. Kevin Cash, you saw the young manager there along with pitching coach Jim Hickey. 2-2 on Alex Rodriguez. Breaking ball is fouled off, and this will reach the seats down the right field line. And you can see where Alex stands on the all-time RBI list. If he catches one here, he can tie Babe Ruth just behind Lou Gehrig.
Hank Aaron's about 3 years away. I think he's safe.
The 2-2 pitch, and it's inside, ball 3. A full count on Alex Rodriguez. You can see Alex looking down at third base coach Joe Espada just to see if the runners will be going here. And you know, I really don't think they will be. I mean, you got great speed on the bases, but Carnes hasn't shown the ability to throw all that many strikes. A-Rod might get one right down the middle here. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it's popped in the air to center field. Not very deep. Kiermaier coming on, still coming on, and makes the catch for the out. Alex Rodriguez was jammed on a fastball, and the runners will have to hold. So A-Rod does not advance the runners. And while we wait for Teixeira to get a chance to hit here, we'll check the weather outdoors, brought to you by Bigelow Tea. 83 degrees, the wind just very light at 2 to 4 miles per hour. The humidity 65%. Forecast clear, cool, as it always is in the dome. The runners lead. The pitch is on the way, and it's outside for ball 1. Teixeira's third in the American League and runs batted in with 27. Stephen Vogt of the Oakland A's is the leader. He's got 30. And Nelson Cruz of the Mariners has 29. Line drive to right field. It's going to fall in there for a base hit. Ellsbury is being waved home. Gardner's on his way to third. Here's a throw to the plate. Ellsbury scores, and it's 1-0 Yankees. Now, it looked like Ellsbury got a late jump. He wasn't sure if that ball was going to be caught or not. But give Mark Teixeira his 28th run batted in on the season as the Yankees score early once again.
Indeed, that's exactly what happened. As you see Teixeira all over that pitch, right down the middle, and then you get a look at Ellsbury's reaction. Wasn't quite sure, a little bit of a hesitation, and another hesitation, and after the cutoff throw, there's actually a throw back to home there, but Ellsbury's just too fast. Even with the hesitation, he's going to score.
So the Yankees break out in front, 1-0. It'll bring up Brian McCann. McCann had an RBI single in last night's game in the first inning and increased his hitting streak to 5 consecutive games. And with 1 out, a decent fly ball should score Gardner from third base, who has a world of speed. Low and away for ball 1.
Teixeira got the first changeup that Carnes has thrown, and he left it right there, and Teixeira all over it.
Carnes has not thrown a first pitch strike to a hitter tonight. That one's in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. In fact, over his last 3 starts, he's thrown more balls out of the strike zone on the first pitch than he has in the strike zone. So right away, he's fallen by hitters, and that could be a problem. A ball and a strike on Brian McCann. And there's McCann, who's done pretty well in these situations. .313 with runners in scoring position. Remember, he's a .240 hitter. Off-speed pitch is fouled off, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
One of the advantages for McCann here, obviously, with men on first and third and base runners, he doesn't have to face that extreme shift.
Gives him a little bit more room to operate on the right side here. A 1-2 pitch, and it's way upstairs. Ball 2, 2-2. Good stop by Wilson. Ball is lined, going to drop into right field for a base hit. The Yankees going to pick up another run as Gardner crosses home plate. It's 2-0. And we told you McCann hits well with runners in scoring position. He's done it again and picks up run batted in number 20 on the season. The Yankees lead 2-0. So both walks have come in to score.
Fastball in, gets it in there fairly well. Maybe inner third. McCann just beats him to the spot. And once again, both Ellsbury and Gardner have scored in the first inning.
And it brings up Carlos Beltran. He, like McCann, has a 5-game hitting streak going. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, strike 1. As we told you in our open, the Yankees are 4th in the league in run scoring. Last year they finished 3rd from the bottom. A ball and a strike on Carlos Beltran, who's hitting at .220. The average is climbing. A couple home runs, 15 runs batted in.
It's kind of the key to last night's game as well, as the Yankees scored 2 quick runs and bases loaded, nobody out, and that was it.
2 balls and a strike.
The home plate umpire, Dan Iasonia's very consistent, but he's not going to give any breaks. You've got to throw the ball on the plate, and especially when you're all over the map in the first inning for a young pitcher.
Carnes up to 25 pitches here in the first inning. There's a call strike. 2-2. Good month of May going on for Carlos Beltran.
Almost a complete reversal of his April.
Call, strike 3. He's out of there. That's the second out of the inning. Looked like a knee-high strike. So Carnes picks up his first strikeout, but he's still not out of the woods yet.
You know, Beltran's got to read this low because it's got a lot of plate. And that's a pretty good pitch. Just too close to take.
Yeah.
I don't know what Carlos mentioned to Dan Iasonia, but not much of an argument. On back to the bench.
7th hitter of the inning for the Yankees, Stephen Drew, who tonight is playing third base. And he takes one outside for ball one. Still no first pitch strikes. 2 on, 2 out. The Yankees have 2 in here in the first. Ball is popped up into center field. Kiermaier coming on. The center fielder is there. He puts it away, but the Yankees put 2 runs on the board and take the lead against a wild Nathan Carnes here in the first. It's the Rays coming up in the bottom of the first. Lead it off at center. Steven Souza Jr. is in right. Evan Longoria will be at third base, followed by the cleanup hitter James Loney, who will be at first base. Logan Forsythe is at second. The designated hitter is David DeJesus. Asdrubal Cabrera will be at shortstop. Joey Butler is in left field tonight. Batting ninth and doing the catching is the veteran Bobby Wilson.
And here is Adam Warren on the year. This will be his 7th start. All the numbers, you know, fairly decent, mid-range. The walks to strikeouts, though, very un-Adam Warren-like, at least compared to his career as a reliever. And let's go ahead and give you the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And needs more length. That's obvious. He has yet to pitch 6 innings in any of his 9 major league starts. And part of the reason is he hasn't been able to put hitters away as a starter. Last year as a reliever, he averaged 8.7 strikeouts per 9. This year as a starter, just 4.6. That tells a story, and he does keep it in the yard, though. Only 2 home runs this year. He only allowed 4 last year.
Warren's first pitch is in there for a strike to Kevin Kiermaier. By the way, those 2 home runs he's given up, they were here. That was back on April 17th. Inside for a ball to Kiermaier.
Yeah, Dykstra and Forsythe, I think, got him. Yeah.
That's correct. But the Yankees won that game 5-4. A no decision for Adam Warren. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and it's bounced towards the right side. Perella gets a chest-high hop, flips it underhanded to Teixeira, and there's 1 down. Let's take a look at the rest of the Yankees on defense, brought to you by Geico. In the outfield, Gardner, Ellsbury, and Beltran. In the infield, Stephen Drew for the first time this year starting at third base. Gregorius will be at short, Perella at second, and Teixeira's at first with Brian McCann doing the catching. So Stephen Drew, they worked him out at third base yesterday prior to the game, and tonight he gets to start at third. Here's Steven Souza Jr. And he swings at the first pitch, hits it well to center field. Ellsbury going back, still going back. This one is gone. A home run for Steven Souza Jr. And the Rays are on the board. It's a 2-1 game. Souza Jr. leads the Rays in home runs. That's number 6 on the season.
First pitch fastball. Souza knows. He's very aggressive early in the count. Adam Warren right on cue. I think I jinxed him. My pitcher scouting report. That'll be number 3 on the year.
And all 3 in this ballpark. So the Rays are on the board. And it'll bring up Evan Longoria. First pitch is low and away, ball 1.
Just trying to get a strike. You know, a lot of times early in the count, pitchers will just try to get a lot of the plate to get strike 1. Souza says,
And that was over 400 feet. Ball 2 to Longoria. Souza Jr., who was out here early today. I got here about 3 o'clock, 3:15, and he was taking batting practice. So you know, hitting coach Derek Shelton, who was out there working with him, hitting off a tee, one of the happiest men in this ballpark. Warren falls behind Longoria, 3 balls and no strikes. The 3-0 pitch, and he's swinging, fouls it straight back. He was going for the tie ball game.
Seems to be we're seeing a lot more of this year. The 3-0 turn them loose. I know the Yankees obviously have had some success with it.
Both Alex Rodriguez and Brian McCann hitting home runs on 3-0 counts. 3-1 pitch, bounced on the ground, foul down the third base side. Longoria broke an 0 for 11 last night with a single in the 7th inning. He also drove in a big run with a sacrifice fly as the Rays rallied for 2 runs in the 7th and 2 in the 8th to erase a 2-0 Yankee lead and go on to a victory by that 4-2 score. Series stands at a game apiece. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it swung on and missed, strike 3. So Adam Warren fights back from a 3-0 count and strikes out Evan Longoria for his first strikeout of the night.
Longoria on 3-2 thinks he's getting another fastball. It's a high slider. You get a look at it. Longoria sees fastball and he's just right under it.
Tell you what, he didn't get cheated. Here's James Loney. Loney's looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 7. And he takes one low and away. Looked like a changeup for ball 1. Loney off to a slow start. Missed a lot of spring training with an oblique injury. Was on the disabled list to begin the season. Hits a fly ball towards the gap in left center field, but Gardner has it measured. He makes the catch, and that's out number 3. The Rays pick up a run on a home run by Steven Souza Jr. At the end of 1, it's 2-1 Yankees. May 24th, when the Yankees take on the Rangers. Prior to the game, the Yankees will celebrate the career of 4-time world champion Bernie Williams with a special ceremony where the Yankees will retire his number 51 and dedicate a plaque in historic Monument Park. For tickets, visit Yankees.com. Call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. We are back. 2-1 ball game. Both teams scoring in the first inning. Yankees with 2 in their half of the first. And the Rays coming back with 1 on the home run by Steven Souza Jr. His 4th hit of the series. Here's Jose Pirela, who takes a ball downstairs for ball 1. Pirela getting a start at second base tonight. Pirela has started 10 games in the major leagues as he takes a pitch low for ball 2. In 5 of those games, he's had multiple hits. And he's hitting .364, Doesn't walk. He hasn't walked yet, so that's what his on-base percentage is. The 2-0 pitch, and that is in there for a call strike. 2-1.
Thought it was interesting in spring training this year that Reggie Jackson thought that this guy was the best hitter in the Yankees organization, at least on the minor league side.
Strike 2 as the count levels off at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We saw some pretty good hitting in spring training by some of the young Yankees. Aaron Judge, Greg Bird, Barella.
That was Brian Cashman's comeback. He thought Greg Bird was the best overall hitter.
He is a good-looking hitter. And Perella's caught looking here. Second strikeout for Carnes as he painted the outside corner.
Well, there's the glove, Bobby Wilson, right on the outside corner, and we'll get an overhead look right here as well. He does hit the target. It does shave the corner. Plenty of plate, actually.
Strikeout number 2 for Carnes. It'll bring up Didi Gregorius, who takes a pitch upstairs, ball 1. We mentioned that this is Carnes' 3rd start against the Yankees this year. It's also his 3rd start against Adam Moore. These two have hooked up twice before. Just wouldn't be the same without Adam Moore opposing him on the mound. Pitches line to right field. Souza Jr. is going to have to pay it on the hop. And Didi Gregorius has a 1-out single, and he's aboard. The Yankees now with 3 hits in the game. And the lineup will turn over for Jacoby Ellsbury. Ellsbury drew a 4-pitch walk and eventually scored in the first inning. That was his 27th run scored on the year. And if Josh Donaldson of the Blue Jays does not score tonight, they are tied for first place. Swing and a miss, strike 1. John Gibbons has Donaldson, who used to bat down 4th and 5th with the Oakland A's. He's got him batting 2nd in front of Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion. There's a good look at the hole that's open with Loney holding Gregorius on at first base. Ball is fouled back and quickly. No balls and 2 strikes on Ellsbury.
You know, that's the thing about the American League East this year, Kenny. Everybody says, oh, it's a flawed division. Everybody has their own holes and flaws, but that may be true. But what I see is the strongest division depth-wise. Toronto has the best offense in the major leagues, and Tampa Bay has the best pitching in the major leagues as of now through 35 games. I think depth-wise, clearly the best division is the American League East.
Another pitch fouled off. Now, who's to say all the other teams are perfect? All the other teams have holes too.
Absolutely. I mean, every team in the major league has holes. You see the standings right here. Top to bottom, the Orioles, that could easily be reversed in the next 35 games. I mean, that's just how deep this division is. And yes, all these teams have their own issues. The Red Sox pitching, Blue Jays pitching, the Rays need offense. The Yankees probably have the least amount of weaknesses of all those teams, at least through the first 35 games.
Well, last night with the Yankees losing, they had a chance to get 10 games over 500. I always felt that was the first milepost on a winning ball club in a winning season. Get the 10 over, then work it up to 15. You start thinking about playoffs when you get the 20 over. You get past 20 over, you're probably going to be in the playoffs. Pitches upstairs for a ball. I played on the team that was 45 over one year.
Oof, that's a great way to look at it. You do the building blocks, 10 over to 20 over.
Ball and 2 strikes on Ellsbury. 2 hits last night. Pitch is hit through the hole and into left field for a base hit. The shift was on and Ellsbury goes the other way. And he's got his first hit of the night and is 1 for 1. He is not the type of hitter I am going to shift against.
That is rather surprising. Yeah. I'm sure the Rays have plenty of data on batted ball experience with Ellsbury, but we've seen Ellsbury go the other way several times. And if you're going to give it to him, he's got the ability to do that.
You know what? And especially with 2 strikes, I think he's going to cut down his swing and just look for somewhere to slap the ball. And that's exactly what happened. Get a pitch down the middle. You can do anything you want with it. And he slashes it to the left side for a base hit. And he now might be the league leader in hits. That's his 46th hit of the year. Here's Gardner. 1 out, 2 on. Tries to lay down a bunt. The throw to second is not in time there, and Gregorius is safe at third. He's going to be credited with a stolen base. Bobby Wilson had him picked off, but when he threw it to second, Gregorius took off.
Well, you see this a lot. Base runners will get fooled on a bunt like this, especially when you bunt through it, and Gregorius does, and just picks up the steam and goes ahead. And really, the relay throw to Longoria gave him just enough to get in there. Gregorius should be out.
Instead, the Yankees have runners on the corners now at 1 out. You're right, that's happened to me. Somebody tries to bunt, bunts through it, and all of a sudden you're picked off.
Yeah, Gregorius got fooled on the bunt attempt.
Outside for a ball, 1-1 on Gardner. And it was Cabrera's throw. It was just enough offline that had Gregorius sneaking into third base. So he gets credited for his 3rd stolen base of the year. First and third, 1 out. Yankees threatening here in the second. Throw to first. Ellsbury's back. Gardner was pretty good in this situation last year, and he's doing it again this year. 348 with runners in scoring position, tops on the Yankees. Ellsbury's on the move, and the pitch is fouled off, and Longoria will get a look, but that's about all as this ball is into the seats. Now, Ellsbury is the league leader in stolen bases, but he's also the league leader in being caught. He was thrown out for the 5th time last night. And why is that significant? Because he was only thrown out 5 times all last year. 39-5 last year. He's 11-5 so far this year. Now we're going to have a discussion out on the mound. Bobby Wilson going out to talk to Carnes, and you can see that pitch count is already up there at 44. And we still only have 1 out in the second inning. That's when pitching coaches are starting to figure out how we're going to piece this one together. You have a rookie on the mound. You certainly don't want to overtax him. Pitch is on the way, and it's swung on and missed for strike 3. Looked like Gardner traced the pitch in the dirt. So Carnes picks up his 3rd strikeout, and it was a big one with a runner at third and 1 out.
Look, this has always been Carnes' best pitch, that good overhand curveball. Excellent bite, and Gardner does get a piece of it. And an excellent play by Bobby Wilson to sort of pick it before it gets the dirt. We'll get another look there, but
yep, he did get it.
Saw a little chalk dust up there on the ground, but Wilson with an excellent play.
So 2 down now. Runners still at the corners and bring up Alex Rodriguez, who hit a lazy fly ball to Kiermaier in center field his first time. Once again up with 2 men on like it was last inning. Upstairs with a breaking ball, ball 1. Nathan Carnes did his college pitching at NC State before transferring to Texas Tech. A ball and a strike on Alex Rodriguez.
Borderline low.
Strike 2 call. That was better than the previous pitch. Sometimes the umpires will call a low pitch like that a strike, and he hears it from the bench. Give us the same thing.
Both ways.
Yep.
Yeah, that one was a little further up from the previous. You're right.
So A-Rod falls behind on the count. A ball and 2 strikes. Yankees trying to form some 2-out magic here. The shift is on. All on the left side of the infield. The runner goes. The pitch is on the way. Ground ball towards short. Asdrubal Cabrera throws to Loney. That's it. The Yankees strand 2 runners here in the second inning. They miss a chance at the end of 1.5. It's 2-1 Yankees. This is Giancarlo Stanton in the first inning. He catches a hold of one, to say the least. Completely out of Dodger Stadium. That was his 8th home run of the year, and it was a majestic blast. Now it's time for today's conversation, brought to you by Toyota. Toyota is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. And the conversation goes something like this. What is the most majestic home run you've ever seen in a major league ball game? And Coretta 42 says Jeter's 3,000 hit. It was at home against a great pitcher like Price. It was just so Jeter. Fans, follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yes Camry Hybrid to keep the conversation going. Jeter's home run, it was, I guess you could put it in a majestic category, but it wasn't as far as the one that Stanton hit. Speaking of hit, Forsythe has been swinging the bat well. He's on his way to second. He's going to hold up with a leadoff double. Logan Forsythe is now hitting 10 of his last 11 games, and that's his 5th hit in this series. A leadoff double here in the second.
Well, we get another look here as Warren's coming in. Might have been a little bit off speed there. Probably a 2-seamer, but that is what you call splitting the gap. I mean, it couldn't have been more perfectly in between the 2 outfielders.
Forsythe has been the hottest of the Rays hitters, not only in this series, but as we said, he's now hitting 10 of his last 11, and he's over 370 in those 11 ball games. Here's David DeJesus. Yankees are up 2-1, a leadoff double for Forsythe here in the second. And it's a high fly ball to straightaway center field. Ellsbury is there. There'll be no advance by Forsythe. He will stay nailed to second base, and there's 1 out.
So that guy there, Forsythe, just gets good at-bats every time. It seems like we've seen him quite a bit so far this year, and he's just been one of the toughest outs for the Yankees.
Now, David, we saw the home run by Stanton. What was the longest home run you ever saw?
Yeah, I saw Darryl Strawberry hit one off the roof in the old Montreal Olympic
I was there
Stadium.
that day. I was there that day. That was, yeah, it was majestic.
Right, yeah. There's a difference between magical and majestic.
Yeah.
I think Jeter's 3,000th hit was more magical than majestic. Majestic, you think, really long, really, so, you know, like as far as you've ever seen.
Up there for an hour. The pitch is low to Asdrubal Cabrera, the Rays shortstop. Cabrera looking for a magical moment. His next hit will be number 1,000 in his career. Hit hard, and there it is, number 1,000. And this is going to tie the game. Ellsbury gets the ball in. Cabrera's trying for 2, and he's in with a double. And it's a 2-2 ball game. And he wants the ball. Hit number 1,000. And it was Jose Perella who hands him the ball. Both of them are natives of Venezuela.
Looks like Warren's going to the curveball. Kind of leaves it on the plate a little too much, and good hitting from Cabrera to stay inside of that curveball, down and in, and throw it the other way in the gap. And I guess hitters do keep track. He knew right away.
He knew right away.
That's my ball. Let me have it right now.
Here's Joey Butler, and Butler takes a pitch for a called strike. Now there are other active players in Venezuela have at least 1,000 hits. And you can start with Miguel Cabrera, who has 2,223. Victor Martinez, 1,692. Omar Infante, 1,322. And Martin Prado has 1,113. So welcome to the club, Asdrubal Cabrera. This pitch is popped up behind first. Going to be a tough play. Long run for Perella. He's not going to get there. This falls in for a hit. Coming in to score is Cabrera. And the Rays have a 3-2 lead. A perfectly placed bloop single by Joey Butler. And the Rays have scored twice here in the second.
A couple of line drives and a blooper. The next thing you know, the Rays are on top.
So Butler's at first with 1 out. It'll bring up the veteran catcher Bobby Wilson, who is the backup to Rene Rivera. Throw to first, and Butler gets back safely. Wilson is a local product from nearby Seminole, Florida. Went to Seminole High School. His teammate at Seminole was Casey Kochman, who we've seen with the Angels. Runners going. The pitch is fouled off as the Rays tried a little hit and run. In fact, Kochman and Wilson were part of a state championship team. They went 31-0. During their days at Seminole High. Fast times at Seminole High.
Pretty good team, I'm sure.
Another throw to first to check on the Butler. The Rays scored 1 in the first, 2 more here in the second, and now lead the Yankees by a score of 3-2. This is the third game of a 4-game series. The teams have split the first 2 games. Ground ball toward short. This could be 2. Gregorius to Perella for 1. On to Teixeira. There's the double play. And the inning is over. But the Rays pick up a couple of runs on 3 hits against Adam Warren. At the end of 2, it's Tampa Bay 3, the Yankees 2. Fans tonight's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Inspired Medicine. American League East starting pitchers, Drew Smyly of the Rays, torn labrum. That's been confirmed, and he's out indefinitely. And Justin Masterson of the Red Sox placed on the 15-day disabled list, arm fatigue.
Yeah, the old arm fatigue one, right? That just means you're not getting anybody out, and we're going to get you out of there for a while.
It's the pitch to Mark Teixeira on our Audi A3 scoreboard. The Rays are leading by a score of 3-2. Teixeira had a run-scoring single, drove in a run in the first. And he fouls one back, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. And Meredith Marakovitz has a little bit more on the medical situation. Meredith.
Well, Kenny, right now they're trying to decide exactly what Drew Smyly will do. He's going to get a second opinion from Dr. Keith Meister in Texas before deciding whether or not to have surgery that will pretty much sideline him all of this season and some of next season, or if he should try to rehab the shoulder with the slight possibility of returning in September. So the Rays still waiting to see exactly what Smyly will decide to do.
Teixeira is thrown out by the second baseman Forsythe. Of course, Meredith will be back with us during this game, and probably on and off during this ball game. And she always has something to offer, and of course on the post-game show with Bob and Jack. So 1 up and 1 down for the Yankees here in the third.
Yep, Rocky. She gets here early and stays late.
Here's Brian McCann. He too had a base hit that drove in a run, and he takes a pitch from Carnes in there for a strike. Now, in last night's ball game, the Yankees got 2 in the first, as they did tonight, but they couldn't score after that against Chris Archer, who settled down. You don't want to have the same thing happen tonight. His pitch is blooped in the air towards left center field. Coming on is Butler, and he will make the catch for out number 2. The Yankees could not tack on against Chris Archer, who got it together after a shaky first inning. Here's Beltran, caught looking in the first inning. That must have been just a hair outside. Ball 1.
Carnes trying to catch up in his pitch count race here.
Swing and a miss. The count evens at a ball and a strike.
Now he's got the lead. Desperately needs some quick innings here. Sort of recalibrate that pitch count. 58 coming.
Off speed pitch. Swung on and missed 1 and 2.
First 2 changeups he threw were hit pretty hard. This is the third one, and that's a good one. He finally got one down.
Swing and a miss, and for the second time, Beltran has struck out. The 2.5 have been played. The Rays still hold the 3-2 lead on the Yankees. great looking hair made easy just for men. By TriStateGMC.com and by Blimpie. Try one of the new oven-fired artesian flatbread sandwiches. Blimpie, America's sub shop. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Many beautiful beaches in this area on the Gulf of Mexico. Bottom of the third, Rays leading 3-2. Top of the order, and Kevin Kiermaier, the center fielder, grounded out his first time, takes the first pitch for a ball. Audi 8-3 scoreboard. There it is. The Rays lead 3-2. Warren delivers. Next pitch is fouled off, and it's a ball and a strike. Kiermaier got off to a great start this year. Got his average up to 306, but now he has dropped off. He's 5 for his last 35, and he's below 250. Ball is popped up. He gets jammed, and Gardner is there. And the Yankee left fielder puts it away, and there's one out. So Kiermaier now 0 for 2, and he will give way to Steven Souza Jr., whose first swing of the night. He's only had one, but it was a home run, a long one to left center field, his 6th of the year. It's also his 4th hit of the series, and he's had a home run. He's had 2 infield hits. He's got the combination of power and speed. Maybe not consistency yet. There's the first pitch, a little outside for ball 1.
Yeah, that's right, Kenny. I mean, as far as tools go, he's also got an outstanding throwing arm. Yeah. So speed, power, and a good defender. He and Kiermaier are excellent athletes at the top of the order.
Tried to check. Did he go around? No, says Lance Barksdale. 2 balls and no strikes. Adam Warren trying to pick up his 3rd win of the year against 1 loss.
Sort of, you know, Souza's sort of falling into the profile of the sort of the 3 true outcome kind of a player or hitter. 3 true outcomes: strikeout, walk, or homer. All by yourself.
He fouled this one off his leg, and we'll take a look at the homer in the first inning, and it was stroked.
It's the modern day ball player.
Right off the kneecap or the side of the knee, and he's still walking this one off. And there's the loser from last night, Nathan Eovaldi, who was just outstanding until later in the ball game. And David, you and I talked about it. One thing that has happened to him in the past, his pitch count gets up early in the game. That pitch is low for a ball to Souza Jr. But last night his pitch count was pretty good. It was manageable, and Joe Girardi left him in there. Then the Rays were able to rally against him.
Yeah, Joe Girardi got caught in between, without a doubt. We saw his anguish in the dugout.
Full count now on a call strike.
Girardi had Wilson, the lefty, up warming up, and
look who it is.
Ivan Nova.
Ivan Nova. The last time we saw him was in this very ballpark, walking off the park. In there, call strike 3. Souza's out of there. I should say walking off the mound. And eventually underwent the Tommy John surgery.
Front door, maybe. Really close. Souza does not like it at all. You see it from behind the pitcher. It looks like it might have stayed inside. The overhead cam was very close.
Too close to take.
Too close to take, but it probably broke around the dish.
Here's Longoria with 2 outs and nobody on. We mentioned the fact that Ivan Nova was pitching here when he suffered the injury and eventually had to go Tommy John surgery. And Joe Girardi, Larry Rothschild watched him throw yesterday. Pitches inside for ball, 1-1 to Longoria. And reports say the radar gun reading was 95 miles an hour. He's still got a ways to go. He's not going to show up next week, but maybe next month.
Exactly. It's like making a trade for a guy who's 6'5" and throws the ball 95 miles an hour. And that's a nice ace in the hole to have.
And they say he's worked on his changeup, and it's even better than when prior to his injury.
Good running, hard fastball, overhand curve.
1-2 pitch is fouled off. Fans, you remember Nova was a 16-game winner one year.
Really had some flashes of brilliance and some inconsistency as well. Maybe this little break and getting stronger, learning how to throw his changeup, working on things will really be beneficial to him.
2 balls and 2 strikes. It's interesting because I was talking to Joe Girardi about Pineda working his way back and from even more serious surgery, his shoulder. And he said while he was away, he worked on his mechanics. And now you see him, he's a strike throwing machine. 2-2 pitch. And it's lined in the left field, and Gardner's going to have to play this one on the hop. So a 2-out single for Evan Longoria, who is now 1 for 2 in the ball game. That is hit number 5 for the Rays off Adam Warren. Here's James Loney, who flew out to Gardner to end the first inning. And we told you Loney started the year on the disabled list. First time in his career he'd ever been on the DL. So he's been a steadying influence on any ball club. Pitches outside for ball 1 with the Dodgers, the Red Sox, and now here with the Rays.
It's obviously impacted him as well. We've seen him normally a legitimate 300 average type hitter, down around 214 coming into this game right now.
The 1-0 pitch, and that hits the corner 1-1. Now, one thing, you know, he's not a 214 hitter. So the Yankees will be finished with the Rays for a while after tomorrow's game. They've already played them a series in New York and 2 here. So they've finished half their schedule for the season, and we're not to June yet. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. So they're hoping Loney gets hot against the other teams. Two balls and a strike. Man on with 2 outs. Hit hard and by Stephen Drew and into left field for a base hit. So back-to-back singles for the Rays with 2 outs here in the 3rd. And it'll bring up their hottest hitter, Logan Forsythe.
Well, this is the type of hitter Loney is. I mean, line to line, just reaches out. Another base hit. Warren now giving up 6 so far here.
That's Loney's first of the series. And by the way, Stephen Drew getting the night at third base tonight, starting at third in place of Chase Headley. Joe Girardi said in his pregame press conference that Headley's kind of beat up a little. He's been diving all over the place, making some great plays, and you can see that's the way that Headley's uniform looks after he's played third base. So Drew's got the treatment over there tonight. First and second, 2 outs, 2 on. Forsythe takes a pitch downstairs for ball 1. Ooh, looked like he just got a piece of it but couldn't flag it down. Forsythe had a double, his 10th of the year, leading off the second inning. He eventually scored the Rays' second run of the game. That pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. He's jumped his average up to 310. In the dirt, nice scoop by McCann, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
This Forsythe just seems to be, a veteran hitter. He looks like a veteran hitter in there, even though he isn't. His approach, very good. The way he takes pitches. 12 walks against just 18 strikeouts on the season so far.
Yeah, he's locked in. Longoria at second, Loney at first with 2 outs. Pitch is hit in the air to right center field. On the move is Ellsbury. He's calling for it and makes the catch just in front of Carlos Beltran for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Rays are going to leave a couple of men on, and at the end of 3, they have a 1-run lead. Ellsbury and Beltran almost collide. No harm, no foul. A 3-2 leading off in the 4th for the Yankees will be Stephen Drew, and as we mentioned, this is his first start at third base tonight, and Meredith Marakovitz has more on Stephen Drew.
Well, Kenny, that's not just in his professional career. He said in his entire life he has never played third base. And he went on to say he does know his role on the team and realize that it is something new. But in this situation, he said he just has to trust his hands and his feet and go from there. He can't worry about stressing that he has never played the position before. He said it's more reactionary. He has to trust his instincts and go from there. Now, the interesting thing about this, Jose Pirela does have some reps at third base. And Joe Girardi was asked, why not Pirela? Why put Stephen Drew over there? And Girardi simply said, we just felt that Stephen Drew would make the adjustment a little easier than Jose Pirela. So clearly they don't like Pirela at third. They feel as though Stephen Drew will easily be able to make that transition.
Thank you very much, Meredith. As Stephen Drew, we mentioned he's playing third base for the first, as Meredith said, for the first time ever. And Jose Pirela is on deck. And there might be another way to look at it, David. The fact that as Chase Headley is going to get the night off tonight. That pitch is outside to Drew, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Saw Pirela work out at Yankee Stadium at third base, but the Yankees probably feel he's more comfortable at second, and you know he's been swinging the bat pretty well, so they just don't want him thinking about too many things other than hitting and playing his normal position. And with Stephen Drew, maybe he could play shortstop. Now maybe they're trying to add third base to his repertoire.
Exactly. I mean, you're much more valuable the more positions you can play. And as of now, obviously because of Brendan Ryan on the DL and all his injury problems, Drew's your backup shortstop. 3-2
pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Nathan Carnes as Drew is headed back to the dugout.
Right on up the ladder, just above the belt. Drew swings right through it.
So 1 down, and here is Jose Pirela, the second baseman. Pirela was called out on strikes in the 2nd inning. They're not taking a chance here. He swings at the first one and fouls it off.
Well, there's no doubt that the more Jose Pirela hits, the more he's going to play.
Off-speed pitch, another good swing. He fouls it off. And right away he's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Nathan Carnes has settled down somewhat. He's retired 6 Yankees in a row after struggling to throw strikes in the first inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Wilson comes up with a pitch in the dirt, throws the first to complete the strikeout. Strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. Fans weekday afternoons on Yes. Join Michael Kay, Don LaGreca, and Ryan Rucco for their entertaining take on the hottest sports headlines, including opinions and analysis of all the local teams. Catch the Michael Kay Show every weekday at 3 right here on Yes. Two outs, nobody on, and Didi Gregorius, who had a base hit and a stolen base in the second, takes the first pitch for a called strike. Fouled straight back, and it's 0-2. So Carnes trying to do what Chris Archer did last night. 8 balls in a row to begin the game. In fact, 9 in a row. Ball's hit towards the middle. It's going to be Forsythe who boots it, and Gregorius will be safe. Takes a big turn and will hold on at first base. That should be an E4. So Gregorius on the 2-out error. We mentioned last night the Rays have made the fewest errors in the league. That's only their 12th of the year. Ooh.
Right under the glove. Just didn't get down enough.
You can hear the Yankee bench now. Put a glove on that foot.
Yes, exactly. Tried to throw it. I guess Gregorius getting down the line pretty quickly there. Forced Forsythe to try to rush it. Never got the handle.
Let's see if the Yankees can take advantage with a couple of down here. Ellsbury's been on base twice. He has walked and singled. And he lifts a high fly ball to left field. Joey Butler moving towards the line, makes the catch. One pitch to Ellsbury. He's retired, and so the Yankees here in the top of the 4th. It's still 3-2 Tampa Bay. Benjamin Moore, paint like no other. For a store near you, go to benjaminmoore.com. On the Lincoln scoreboard, 3-2 Rays, bottom of the 4th. Looked like it was a beautiful sunset tonight out on the Gulf. And right here, David DeJesus is going to lead it off in the bottom of the 4th inning. He flew out to Ellsbury in center field. Back in the second, takes a pitch for a call strike from Adam Warren. Born in Brooklyn, New York, and went to Rutgers University. The pitch is on the way, and that's low, changeup, and it's a ball and a strike. He's off to a great start this year, and lately he's been swinging a hot bat. Make this 8 games now. He's 10 for his last 21. Had a big base hit in last night's ball game. Tied the ball game. That's low. 2 balls and a strike. Attended Manalapan High in New Jersey. As we told you, Rutgers University, drafted by the Royals in the 4th round back in 2000. A 10-year major league vet. Pitch is on the way, and that's in there for a strike. And David can tell you why that's important to get 10 years in.
10 years you have arrived. You get full pension benefits at 10 years. You are fully vested and carries a little more weight in the clubhouse, too.
2-2 pitch is on the way, and that misses inside. Now, I will tell you this. I started a few years before you, and to get fully vested, when I started playing, you had to play 20 years. And how many players play 20 years? Stan Musial, Willie Mays, players like that. 3-2 pitch, and that is called strike 3. Adam Warren hits the corner. So Adam Warren picks up his 3rd strikeout of the night, catches DeJesus looking.
Yes, he does. Look at McCann's glove. Little backdoor slider right to the glove. Plenty of height. It's knee high, and we'll get the overhead, maybe just around the plate a bit. Very close.
So there's 1 out to bring up Asdrubal Cabrera, who drove in a run with a double. The double was also the 1,000th hit of his major league career. He got the ball for a souvenir. And the first pitch is low and inside for ball 1.
Well, I can hear Paul O'Neill all the way in Cincinnati right now. Around the plate. That ball's in the other batter's box.
Cabrera's off to a slow start with the bat, but he's been very solid in the field. He has not made an error thus far this year. Now, some people will tell you his range is not what it used to be, but he's sure-handed, like he's always been. 2 balls and no strikes on the Rays shortstop. The Yankees have the shift on in the infield. And Cabrera looks to bunt, but eyeballs it outside, and the count is 3-0. He was looking for 1,001. There is a call strike, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, and that is ball 4. So he's on with 1 out. It's interesting because I was talking to George King of the New York Post today, and George was wondering how many players have had 2,000 hits in their career. We're speaking of Cabrera with 1,000, and it's not as many as people would think. Not that many have 3,000. I think only 28 have 3,000 hits. But it's less than 300 players in the history of baseball who had over 2,000 hits. Here's Joey Butler. Well, Cabrera at first and 1 out. Pitch is on the way to Butler, and it's a swing and a miss, strike 1. I told you last night, Butler's 7-year veteran of the minor leagues. And in one of those years, he was a teammate of Rays manager Kevin Cash. That was in Round Rock. That's AAA for the Rangers. Throw to first. Cabrera dives back. Butler spent a few days with the St. Louis Cardinals. There's Kevin Cash, youngest manager in the major leagues, 37 years old. First year with the Rays. Butler played 6 games with the Cardinals, was sent back to the minor leagues, then he was released so he could go to Japan and play for the Oryx Blue Wave. One ball and 1 strike. Butler recently recalled from the Rays system. 29-year-old rookie hit his first major league home run at Fenway Park. And he hit one here in this series, so he's got 2. Fouls this one off. And it's 1-2. "58 pitches thus far, 33 of them have been in the strike zone for Adam Warren. Young man born in New Bern, North Carolina. I think that's on the coast. One-two pitch, and that is upstairs, 2-2.
Little purpose pitch up the ladder, and now probably back down, looking for a ground ball. Warren's been pretty good at inducing ground ball double plays. He's had 6 so far this year.
Not that time. Base hit into center field for Butler. Cabrera's going to stop at second, and they're 2 on with 1 down here in the 4th. That's the 7th hit of the game for the Rays. And it'll bring up Bobby Wilson.
Well, you can see Warren's upset with himself. Ahead in the count, and he leaves the slider right there. And it is hammered right back up the middle.
Well, they say each at bat you get at least one good pitch to hit. And that was the one for Butler, and he didn't miss it. Here's Bobby Wilson. You were talking about double plays. Wilson hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the 2nd inning. The Yankee bullpen's getting busy here. The runners are going. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw to third is in plenty of time. Cabrera is thrown out. It looked like yet another hit and run put on by the Rays. But instead, it's going to be a thrown out stealing for Asdrubal Cabrera, and he's walking off kind of gingerly.
Well, you see, it's not about the jumps. This is a hit and run, and Wilson just gets tied up. Very gutsy call from Cash here. Just run yourself right out of an inning, as they got no chance. On a hit and run, you got to make sure the pitch is delivered to home.
So Butler moves down to second. He's there on a fielder's choice. But now there's 2 outs and a runner in scoring position.
It's a big break there for Adam Warren.
Esmil Rogers is warming up in the Yankee bullpen down the left field line.
Bobby Wilson coming in hitting 161, the backup catcher. Cash felt like he had to try something there and put on a play.
He tried it with Wilson up the first time. That pitch is low, and it's a ball and a strike. Rays 3, Yankees 2 are in the bottom of the 4th. Yankees scored 2 in the first inning. Rays came back with 1, and the Rays got 2 in the second. Fouled off by Bobby Wilson, 1-2. Pitch count at 63. That's not too bad here in the 4th inning.
Just thinking, those are the type of plays that Don Zimmer would put on when he was a manager. Very daring. Make those kind of calls from the dugout.
Called strike 3. Wilson is called out, and the Rays are going to leave a runner in scoring position. So Adam Warren gives up a walk and a hit, but no runs here in the 4th. So on to the 5th. It's a 3-2 game. Fans, for all the latest sports news and highlights, including analysis of the NBA and NHL playoffs, don't miss Fox Sports Live. That's tonight at 11. You can see it on Fox Sports 1 or stay tuned for the simulcast of Fox Sports Live immediately following Yankees coverage right here on Yes. On the Lincoln scoreboard, it is 3-2 Rays. Oh, sorry, it is the Bigelow T scoreboard as we go to the top of the fifth. As Carnes misses with the first pitch to Brett Gardner. Gardner 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. And that pitch misses low. Ball 2-0. It'll be Gardner, Rodriguez, and Teixeira for the Yankees here in the fifth inning. They trail by a run. So Corey Kluber. That's Kluber with a K tonight. 16 strikeouts.
He's not done. Anytime you get up into that territory, 16 after 7, you got 6 more to work with. 20's within range. If he can go through 9, keep his pitch count in order.
Yeah, it depends on what the pitch count is. 2-1 pitch, and Gardner fouls it back 2-2. Of course, we thank Bob for the update. He'll be back on the post-game show with Jack Curry, Meredith Marakovitz, and I'm sure they'll have more highlights of that game. Xavier Cedeno warming up for the Rays. Full count now on Brett Gardner, who has scored one of the 2 Yankee runs. That was back in the first inning. The Yankees did not tack on in last night's game after taking an initial 2-0 lead. They're going to need some runs in this one. 3-2 pitch, and it's hit high in the air to center field, pretty deep. Going back is the center fielder Kiermaier in front of the wall, makes the catch for the out. A long fly ball off the bat of Brett Gardner for out number 1 here in the fifth.
He's already got 1 home run in this series to dead center. Makes a bid for 2. On a 3-2 fastball, belled high right there. Just runs out of gas right at the last minute.
The interesting thing about Carnes, he's given up 9 home runs in his career, all 9 of them here at Tropicana Field. Here's Alex Rodriguez 0 for 2, and the first pitch drops in there for a called strike. That's in the dirt. Count levels at 1-1. In fact, Carnes gave up a long home run to Alex Rodriguez here.
That was that 70 foot plus.
Out on the Captain Morgan deck. Changeup swung on and missed. 1-2. And people out there, they aren't thinking so much about getting a baseball. The 1-2 pitch, and it's a high chopper. Longoria on to first for out number 2. Alex has been bothered by a tight hamstring lately, and he wasn't exactly busting it down the line the way we've seen Alex do it in the past. And he's trying to put less strain on that leg.
Well, it's been well documented, as you see there. He's obviously laboring, trying to run, even on a high chopper off the plate.
2 up and 2 down, and the first pitch to Teixeira misses for ball 1.
That's why Stephen Drew's playing third base today.
Yeah.
As Alex Rodriguez will be the full-time DH.
Teixeira has a single, drove in a run. He's also grounded to second. He's 1 for 2. And he hits a ground ball to the right side, and it's going to be Forsythe in short right field. He has to hustle, and he didn't get him. Teixeira beats it out for an infield hit. Now, I don't know if he laid back, but then all of a sudden he picked up a little steam, but it was too late.
Teixeira sees it right out of the box. This has got to feel good for Teixeira. All the hits that have been stolen by him on this sort of defensive alignment, and he easily beats it.
You see Tony Pena making the call, as well as first base umpire Lance Barksdale.
Teixeira smelled that one right away.
Here's McCann, who was singled, fly to left. First pitch fouled at the plate, strike one. On that base hit in the first inning by McCann, he drove in the Yankees' second run. Off-speed pitch, and it's in for a strike. Oh, 0-2 on McCann. Now they're going to play behind Teixeira, who already just showed him he can beat out an infield hit. Bouncing ball to the left side, and this is going to be a base hit. Another infield single. It is run down by Cabrera. That's taken advantage with 2 strikes.
No doubt about it that Brian McCann has made a constituted effort to do more of this. Clearly just protecting, trying to shoot the ball that way. We've seen him do that on several occasions.
You can see there's only one man home, and he doesn't have the range to run that one down. I think you're going to see more and more hitters doing that. And, you know, in a way, you're protecting the plate with 2 strikes. You move it along to Carlos Beltran, who now comes up with a tying run in scoring position. Beltran has struck out twice tonight, once looking and once swinging. Asdrubal Cabrera tried to sneak in behind Mark Teixeira at second base. Outside, ball 1 to Beltran. So the Yankees have a chance here with 2 outs. They got Teixeira at second, McCann at first. And a shift is on for Beltran as well. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. 90 miles an hour with the fastball. Yankees with 2 runs on 6 hits against Cards. Now Beltran's ahead on the count.
Yeah, we noted with Nathan Carnes that had little control issues, walks a few too many batters so far this year, but tough to hit. Part of that is because he's kind of conveniently wild. He doesn't really know where it's going. A lot of times he's aiming away, it goes up and in.
Swing and a miss. Levels the count at 2-2.
Up the ladder once again. Wilson wants it down and away, and it's up and in. Beltran bites.
Yeah, Beltran helped him out on that one. Line drive, center field, base hit. Teixeira's being waved home. Here comes Kiermaier's throw, and it is in time. They got him. Good tag by Bobby Wilson, and the Rays maintain their 3-2 lead. Teixeira thrown out at home plate by Kevin Kiermaier. Here's another look. Wilson reaches, and he gets him. Dan Iasonia with the call. The tag on the upper left leg. Now Joe Girardi is asking Dan Iasonia, and I believe this is not so much about the tag but did he give him an alleyway to slide in? Was there enough room for Teixeira to get to the plate? So we're going to see if the plate was being blocked by Bobby Wilson. And that's what this whole thing is about. It's not about Teixeira being tagged down. There's no doubt about it. But did Wilson block the plate and not give him an alleyway to slide? Now, I believe it looks like he did, and he went for the ball to make the tag.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to overturn.
Yep.
Wilson was standing in front of the plate, and then when the ball and the throw came, he reacted up the line a bit to go get the ball. Girardi deciding to go ahead and take a chance right now.
Yeah, there's Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire, and the crew chief, Eric Cooper, who are now awaiting the call on the replay from New York. And Joe Girardi, his issue is where Bobby Wilson was stationed in the home plate area. The rule says that the catcher has to give the runner an alleyway to slide.
Be very surprised if this is overturned.
I would too. The call is out. He's out at the plate. And the score remains 3-2. So we'll be back. The call is confirmed. Rays lead 3-2. Is going to lead off. Kevin Kiermaier picked up an assist with a strike to home plate that got Mark Teixeira. On our Bigelow T scoreboard, it's 3-2 here in the fifth. A little chopper to the right side. Teixeira is going to play this behind the back. Steps on it. There's one out. Well, let's take a look at what happened on that last play with Teixeira sliding into home plate once again. Joe Girardi's issue was Bobby Wilson giving it some room for Teixeira to get to home plate. Now, initially he was. Now let's flash back to April 23rd, 2010. Robinson Cano was with the Yankees. He gets a hit. Here comes the play at home plate, and watch this. That is Teixeira and Bobby Wilson. When Wilson was with the Angels, Wilson had to go on the disabled list with a concussion and an ankle injury, and that's the type of player they're trying to avoid right now by instituting that rule at home plate.
Kind of puts it all into perspective right there, those two plays.
Souza Jr. takes a pitch for a call strike.
Same two guys.
Yep.
A few years later.
Now the rule doesn't say you can't run into the catcher. You still can. But I think there's a lot of base runners who are confused on the rule, and I haven't seen that many home plate collisions. Not to the extent that we saw back in 2010. Bouncing ball foul.
The best part about the rule change is there was some base runners to where they would get it in their mind they were going to run over the catcher no matter what. Think Pete Rose and Ray Fosse.
Yeah.
Back at the All-Star game. Several guys, there's certain base runners that come around third and they're looking for a chance to run over the catcher whether they need to or not. And that was really unnecessary part of the game that the rule change has really helped.
Call strike 3. Souza Jr. has called out on strikes for the second consecutive trip to the plate.
Souza does not like it, obviously. Thinks that ball's in. McCann does a great job. You see the little movement on the glove, bring it back. Souza's right.
Yeah, but he's right in the dugout, too.
It's only one man's opinion who counts, and that would be the home plate umpire.
Here's Longoria. He is struck out. He's also had a base hit. Can't get that off-speed pitch, and it's strike 1. 5 strikeouts for Adam Warren in the game. He's allowed 3 runs on 7 hits and 1 base on balls. Little check swing roller to third for Stephen Drew across the diamond. And that's it for the Rays here in the 5th. Yankees still trail by 1. They need to get it going. Tri-State BMW Center by People's United Bank NA. Put the power of know-how to work for you. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. Well, manager Kevin Cash has made the Verizon call to the bullpen, and he's calling out left-hander Xavier Cedeno. And this will be his 13th appearance of the year. 7 hits in 7 innings. He has struck out 8 and walked 4. And the first man the left-hander will face will be Stephen Drew, who's flied to center and struck out swinging. And he starts him with a hook, and he drops it in there for a call strike. On our Benjamin Moore scoreboard, it is 3-2 Rays here in the top of the 6th.
Somewhat surprising move. Carnes was throwing very well after that first inning. Just 92 pitches.
Ball is hit on the ground foul. Do you think he got him out of there with a chance to pick up a victory and maybe not letting the youngster just blow it on his own?
Quite possible. I mean, and obviously you've got Drew leading off here, and then Perella, the righty, and then Gregorius, and Ellsbury and Gardner. So 4 out of the next 5 are lefty batting.
Off-speed pitch misses, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Stephen Drew. Knocked down by Bobby Wilson, who looked more like a goaltender there. Count as 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom third of the Yankee order: Drew, Perella, and Gregorius here in the 6th inning. Well, we saw that video, and Wilson took a heck of a shot from Teixeira. The 2-2 pitch is popped up. This is near the mound. Who's going to make the play? And it's going to be the catcher, Bobby Wilson, almost to the mound, that makes the catch for the out. Now, I don't know if I remember what happened on that play. Teixeira ran into Bobby Wilson. As we look at Wilson make this play here, and right in front of Cedeno, he puts it away neatly. The shift was on, so there was a long way for the first baseman and for Longoria to come. But Teixeira had been hit by a pitch. That's how he got on base. And I think he was kind of steamed when he got to home plate. He was going to take it out on somebody.
There you go.
Perella squares the bunt, takes a pitch for a call strike from Cedeno. And that's what I recall from that collision at home plate. That's what preceded that collision. Perella has struck out twice, looking and once swinging. And he swings at a pitch in the dirt, and the count is 0-2. Been kind of aggressive tonight. He's swung at a few pitches out of the strike zone.
Cedeno throwing a good hook right there. Good depth.
Tried to get him to swing at that one, and he didn't do it. There's an appeal at first. Lance Barksdale says no. The Rays picked up Cedeno from the Los Angeles Dodgers in exchange for cash considerations. That was back on April 27th. Just outside, 2-2. Cedeno originally was signed by the Colorado Rockies, and he was signed by Jorge Posada Sr.
Interesting.
Ball hit on the ground towards the middle, and Cabrera can't get it. Perella has himself a base hit, takes a big turn at first base. That was exciting, and heads back to the bag. So Cedeno gives up his first hit.
So there's a certain energy about Perella that is very fun to watch.
Well, he runs down the line hard.
See Perella right out of the box.
Little bobble here, little bobble there. He's going to be at second base. Here's Gregorius, and he takes a pitch off the outside corner for ball 1. Didi's been on base twice. He has singled, stolen a base, and also reached on an error. Couple of looks at the runner. Breaking ball. Did he swing? No, says Adam Hamari. 2 balls and no strikes to Gregorius. Yankees are down by a run. They got their 2 in the first inning. Brandon Gomes, the veteran right-hander, up in the Rays bullpen.
Yeah, and he's up for Alex Rodriguez if it gets there.
Two and one.
Obviously, Gregorius, Ellsbury, and Gardner, the next 3 are lefties.
The thing about Ellsbury and Gardner, the left-handers don't bother them all that much. They've been very solid against all types of pitching this year. Gregorius hits it hard. Loney scoops it up over the shortstop for one. On to Cedeno at first. He was off the bag. So the Rays were that close to completing a 3-6-1 double play. Instead, Gregorius will be safe at first with 2 outs.
Well, this is the hardest play for a pitcher, especially a lefty. As you see, Loney takes himself out of the play, gets the out at second. And for a left-handed pitcher falling off to third to get over there and cover, find the bag. Just even on the kick start, even trying to kick back and get it a second time, he missed. So very tough play for a pitcher in general, especially a left-hander.
Loney make that look easy?
Yes.
Yeah, he is smooth. Here's Ellsbury. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. We told you he hits lefties well. He's hitting .341 against lefties this year. And he'll take the first pitch downstairs for ball 1.
It's another good swing from Gregorius.
Yeah.
Kind of got robbed right there. Hit that ball hard to the wrong guy.
Two outs. Gregorius with a short lead at first base. Swing and a miss by Ellsbury. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Yankees center fielder.
So Daniel's got good break on that curveball. Upper 70, 79, more of a true curveball than a slider. Meaning that there's more downward break than side to side break.
One and 2 as he drops that one in. All 3 breaking balls to Jacoby Ellsbury. He's got a few pitches to play with here. Here's the last one.
You can see good depth. The ball goes down. Not really a sweeper, a real downer.
2-2. Tried to get Ellsbury the bite on that one.
If you're a left-handed pitcher with a good curveball, you're going to get plenty of chances. There's a shortage of those kind of guys around the league. He's the only one in the Tampa Bay Rays bullpen.
There's the fastball, and he misses, and the count is full at 3-2. So Gregorius will be off with the pitch with 2 down. And all you got to do is make sure that the pitcher delivers the home plate. Loney now playing behind the runner at first. 3-2, 2 outs. Yankees down by 1. Runner goes, pitch on the way, and it's ball 4. The pitch, was it fouled off? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Gregorius, keep running. Now they're going to stop him. All right, so it looks like the ball was fouled off, and Gregorius is going to have to go back to first base.
You could tell by Ellsbury's reaction, he never leaves. And the drop kick. Little drop kick hits the ground first, and then the end of the bat off of Ellsbury.
That would have been ball 4. So instead, we'll do it all over again. As Cedeno went with the 3-2 breaking ball. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch fouled off. Cedeno loves that hook, doesn't he?
He'll throw it any time. He's proven that. The 22nd pitch for him this inning. At least half of them curveballs. More than half.
This will be the 8th pitch to Jacoby Ellsbury. His fastball is swung on and missed, strike 3. So he puts him away with the heat. The Yankees leave a runner. Rays still lead 3-2. The fastest, most reliable internet for the Yankees will be Chase Whitley. He'll take the hill in the final game of the series. And Erasmo Ramirez will pitch for the Rays. We saw him in relief earlier in this series. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. right here on the S Network. Here's James Loney. And the first pitch from Adam Warren here in the bottom of 6 is in there for a call strike. On our Benjamin Moore scoreboard, 3-2 Rays. All the scoring within the first 2 innings. Loney's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Loney, Forsythe, and DeJesus for the Rays against Warren. Loney had a base hit his last time. Once again, kind of a quiet crowd here at Tropicana Field, although I do feel we have more in attendance than we had in the first 2 ball games. Just over 10,000 in each one of the games on Monday and Tuesday nights. Ground ball to the left side for Drew. He gobbles it up, throws him out, and there's 1 down here in the 6th.
Nothing to it. Just get a little different looking glove, a little bigger glove to play third base. So Drew's got to have about 3 different gloves now. 1 for second, 1 for short, 1 for third.
1 down for Logan Forsythe. Leadoff double in the 2nd inning, eventually came around to score. That tied the game. Later on, Asdrubal Cabrera scored, and that gave the Rays the lead. Strike 1 call from Adam Warren.
You know, we talked about Adam Warren in all of his 9 major league starts. He's never gone 6 innings. He's in a good position to do it now. Pitch count still pretty good shape. One of the keys to being able to get deeper into the games for Adam Warren is when you're in these kind of games, 3-2, you want to stay in this game a couple more innings to get a chance to win. Otherwise, you go 6 innings, 2-1, 3-2, you're going to have a lot of no decisions.
Ball is popped up. Gregorius retreats into the outfield and to make the catch for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down, and Adam Warren 1 out away from going further than he's ever gone in a major league start.
You think about, now the general manager in Arizona, Dave Stewart, great pitcher. Oakland, he won 20 games 4 years in a row. And he did it because he stayed in the game. He pitched 8 innings, and he gave up his 3 runs and his 4 runs, but he was able to go deep into the game to give himself every opportunity to get on the right side of the ledger.
In both his starts against the Rays this year, he received what you were talking about, David, a no decision. Games were decided by the bullpen. First pitch to DeJesus is in there for a strike, who's flied to center and called out looking.
Yeah, if you're Adam Warren right now, you're thinking 7, maybe 8 innings. Try to get a quick out here. Your pitch count still really good, down in the low 80s. You're definitely going to run back out there for the 7th inning.
And in the meantime, you hope your team puts a few on the board for you.
Hang around. Dave Stewart was the king of 8 innings pitched, 4 runs given up, and of course they had the Bash brothers back then. They scored runs, and he got a lot of wins like that.
1-1 pitch hit on the ground to second. Perella snags it, throws to first, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Adam Warren here to 6th. So on to the 7th here at Tropicana Field. The Yankees need some runs. They trail 3-2. $7-10. Then the Yankees, for the first time this year, they step out of the Eastern time zone. They head to Kansas City for a weekend series against the American League champion Royals. 8-10 on picks, 7-10 on picks, and then 2-10 start on picks on Sunday. I should say on Sunday.
Expect some big crowds this weekend in Kansas City. Kauffman Stadium's back alive. The excitement in the city for that team.
The Royals are off to a good start again this year, fighting the Tigers for the lead in the Central Division. Here's Gardner, who's walked and scored, struck out, and flied to center. And Cedeno's still in there, drops a curve in there for a call strike.
It's really the first time, if you think about it, since the late 70s that both the Royals and Yankees are in first place playing each other. They got to go back to Willie Randolph and Reggie and George Brett, back to the 70s days when those teams were going at it.
Frank White and all those guys. Up and in, and it's a ball and a strike. Yes, those were the days, my friend. Brandon Gomes is up. A-Rod's up next. This might be Cedeno's last hitter. In fact, managing would tell you that's what's going to happen. Pitch is on the way, and Gardner takes a pitch for a strike, and it's 1-2. Yankees are down by a run. It's 3-2 in the 7th.
Well, relievers like to know when they're going to be used, and the old saying is why do you got me up if you're not going to use me?
Ground ball to the left side, and it's going to be Cabrera. It's going to have to hustle, and he gets Gardner by a step. 1 out. And here comes Kevin Cash. And he's already made the call to the bullpen for Brandon Gomes. So as Gomes makes his way in and A-Rod makes his way to the plate, the Rays have a 3-2 lead. We'll be right back.
Beltran laces one right up the box. Here comes Teixeira. You got to go. Nice play by Bobby Wilson with the sweep tag just grazing Teixeira's shoulder. Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire, with the call, and that's a T-Mobile game changer right there.
Yeah, that would have been a tying run. Instead, the Yankees are still down by a run as Brandon Gomes comes in. And that's the numbers on Gomes this year. Alex Rodriguez is 0 for 5 in his career against Gomes. And the first pitch off the end of the bat, it's strike one. One out, nobody on, 7th inning. Those are the seasonal numbers on Alex Rodriguez. 8 home runs in the year, 3 of them hit right here at Tropicana Field. And there wasn't a cheap one in the bunch. The 0-1 pitch, bounce foul the other way, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Gomes is a split finger specialist. Got a really good one. Time you see a pitcher start off like that, digging, starts with that split finger grip. Decent fastball and a slider to go with it. Splitter's his best pitch. And here it comes again.
Alex lines it into left field beyond the reach of the shortstop Cabrera. And he's on with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Let's see if Joe Girardi goes for a pinch runner here. You know what? Maybe he'll wait to see if A-Rod gets into scoring position. And with Teixeira at the plate and the way he's hit home runs this year, he might already be in scoring position. Teixeira's had a run-scoring single. In fact, he's had a couple of hits tonight. 2 for 3. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Just left that splitter up just enough. Alex still out in front, but so long through the zone. Really solid swing.
One ball and 1 strike on Mark Teixeira. Came into tonight 3rd in the league in runs batted in. One and 2. In the dirt, Wilson knocks it down. Can't pick it up cleanly, but no advance for Alex Rodriguez.
You know, I think you're right, Kenny. That's a good read. I think Girardi's going to wait to see if maybe Alex gets into scoring position, then maybe up for a pinch runner. Chris Young, the obvious candidate to pinch run.
The 2-2 pitch, and it's fought off by Teixeira and fouls it off, and the count remains 2-2.
It's not just that easy of a decision for a manager as far as pinch running goes. You get this game tied up, and the next thing you know, Alex Rodriguez is at bat, comes up with a chance to win it in 2 innings.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he's in the clubhouse. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
This is what Teixeira seems to do so well, as you see McCann on deck. He's got such a good eye.
Goes deep into counts.
Sees a lot of 3-ball counts, 3-2 here.
You heard Joe Girardi in the his pregame press conference, says he draws a lot of walks. 3-2 pitch on the way, and it's fouled at the plate and fouled off Teixeira's foot.
Gomes threw a fastball on the inner half of the plate there. See if he's got the guts to do that or go back to the splitter.
Ball is fouled off once again by Teixeira.
Back to the splitter. You got to figure, you know, even though A-Rod's on first, you see the shift, the normal shift for Teixeira, although not the short right field shift. Obviously, generally, they're really in here. Teixeira should be able to reach out and pull that splitter.
Instead, he swings and misses for strike 3. And Gomes picks up his first strikeout and the second out of the inning. That was a big out.
Gutsy. Gomes after the splitter previously, right down the middle, too. Teixeira caught looking for something off speed. Gomes sneaks the fastball by him.
So 2 outs, and now Brian McCann.
Don't see that too often with Teixeira.
Yeah, not missing that type of pitch. McCann has a couple of hits tonight. Drove in a run way back in the first inning. Off-speed pitch in there for a call strike. Just 74 miles an hour. Fastball in there, 0-2. Gomes mixing up his pitches pretty well here to the last 2 hitters.
Classic backwards pitching.
In the dirt, gets away, and Alex Rodriguez is going to advance to second base on the wild pitch. Now let's see if Joe Girardi goes for the pinch runner. No.
2 outs. 7th inning. Decides he'd rather keep Alex in the game.
A ball and 2 strikes on McCann, who's already had an RBI single tonight. Way upstairs, 2-2. A-Rod at second with 2 outs. Here in the 7th inning, the Yankees down by a run. Pitch is hit hard but foul. A screamer to the right side of the first baseline. Nice play by the ball boy. The Yankees bench, you got Headley, Garrett Jones, John Ryan Murphy, and Chris Young, as you said. I'd take him in a race over the other guys.
Yeah, there's one choice.
Yeah. Swung on and missed on the splitter. It doesn't matter. Yankees leave Alex Rodriguez at second base, and they do not score here in the 7th. It's on to the 7th inning stretch. The Rays have the lead, 3-2. And here is Asdrubal Cabrera is going to lead it off in the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's go back to when Cabrera was thrown out at third. This replay brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here.
Holding, offensive line. If that's the NFL, you get flagged for holding there.
Cabrera has doubled and walked, and he was caught stealing. High fly ball in left field. This is going to chase Gardner back near the warning track. He's there and makes the catch. One pitch and one out for Adam Morin here in the 7th.
Warren really settling in nicely. Had 2 straight 1-2-3 innings coming into this inning. Several in a row. That makes it 7-8 in a row. He's retired.
Pitch count at 84, and a changeup is in there for a call strike to Joey Butler. Butler's had a couple of hits. He's 2 for 2. Kevin Jepson, one of the Rays' setup men, is warming up in their bullpen. We saw him last night. He got the win in relief. The pitches swung on and miss. And Chasen Shreve is up in the Yankee bullpen.
It was Joey Butler's bloop single that is the difference in this game. That was the 3rd RBI. Jam shot down the right field line, just fell in. Yankees once again got their 2 runs early in the 1st inning. Ellsbury and Gardner touched home plate in the 1st once again, and that's been it.
Butler spoils one. The count remains a ball and 2 strikes. .88 pitches, 55 of them have been strikes. Double nickels. Adam Warren into the 7th inning for the first time ever as a starter. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Joey Butler comes strikeout number 6 for Warren.
Yeah, Warren's really got to work in here. This is a good changeup. He can throw it to righties. You see it dive down and in. This is why we always said about Adam Warren that he really does have a starter's repertoire. He's got 4 pitches. He's starting to work them all in right now. Curveball, slider, excellent changeup right there to finish off Butler.
Here's Wilson. Warren's retired 9 in a row. Misses on the first pitch for ball 1. Wilson's hit into a double play and struck out looking. Ball and a strike.
Another good changeup from Adam Warren. So he got touched up a little bit early. As we said, the bloop single is the difference in the game. But very solid, finishing on a high note.
David Carpenter has joined Chasen Shreve in the Yankee bullpen. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Rolling right now.
Got all his pitches working here in the 7th. Let's see where he goes. Fastball is called, strike 3 over the outside corner. Caught Bobby Wilson looking. 7 have been completed. Yankees are down 3-2. Need some late life. Bench Tri-State dealer. Here's a home run by Steven Souza Jr. And a couple of strikeouts for Adam Warren as he strikes out Evan Longoria. I don't know what to make of that. But it's time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. The Rays lead at 3-2. All the scoring within the first 2 innings of the game to Sharon McCann with RBI single, Steven Souza Jr. with a home run, his 6th of the year, and Asdrubal Cabrera with an RBI double. New pitcher is Kevin Jepsen. He got the win in relief last night. He's facing Carlos Beltran. The first pitch is in there for a called strike. Well, we did feel there were a few more people in the ballpark tonight. 11,924. The numbers on Jepsen. Picked up his first win of the year in last night's ball game. Pitches hit on the ground to the right side. Forsythe charging harder this time and throws him out. 1 down. Beltran's now 1 for 4. On the Hyundai scoreboard, it is 3-2 Rays here in the top of the 8th. As Stephen Drew will come to the plate. Drew looking for his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 3, and the first pitch is maybe a little bit low for ball 1. On deck is Chase Headley. He will be hitting for Jose Perella. Ball 2 to Stephen Drew. And in the Yankee bullpen, it's the closer, Andrew Miller. That is beyond the Yankee bullpen for strike 1, 2-1. The previous 2 games, the attendance was low enough to set records for Yankee Rays games on successive nights. Now we've got about 1,000 more people in the ballpark tonight, a little bit more than that. There's a call strike, 2-2 now on Drew. Jepson coming over from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He'd worked in their bullpen for a couple of years. 2-2 pitch, and Drew spoils it. The Rays got Jepson for Matt Joyce. Outfielder sent to the Angels. Here's the pitch, off speed pitch, way upstairs. Count is full. 3-2.
Talked about this being the 35th game of the year. It's kind of past the 1/5 mark. You see batters starting to get, about 100 at bats. Stephen Drew just over 100 at bats right now.
3-2 pitch is fouled back to our left, and we'll do it all over again.
As a hitter, Kenny, when did you think, how many at bats before things started to stabilize? The sort of the regression to the mean kind of philosophy of.
I was hoping that things would start right on opening day. That I would be ready.
Wake up, ready to go.
Let's go. Had enough of spring training and those fake at bats. Let's play for real. 3-2 pitch once again, and Drew chases one out of the strike zone and strikes out. 2 down.
Well, Jepson throws hard, and Drew chasing way up the ladder, up almost above the ladders.
2 outs now, and it'll be Chase Headley batting for Jose Perella. Headley's had 1 pinch hit at bat this year, and he's 0 for 1 in that regard. Here's the pitch, and a breaking ball drops in there for a strike.
2 outs here in the 8th. Headley's got one thing in mind: look for something to drive, try to tie this thing up.
Off speed pitch. He's way out in front, and it's 0-2. Jepson has yet to throw him a fastball. That's the sign for the fastball upstairs, I believe. Let's see. Yep. And it's hit hard, and it's a base hit. He didn't get it far enough up the ladder, and Chase Headley singles to right field. A pinch hit single with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. And I'll bring up Didi Gregorius.
Boy, he threw up 2 really good pitches, and then you get ahead 0-2, and then you throw that one. And obviously he's not trying to do that. I did that many times myself, but big time mistake ahead in the count there to Chase Headley.
So here's Gregorius, who is 1 for 3. And the first pitch to the Yankee shortstop is a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Twin Towers up in the bullpen. Miller, the left-hander. Betances, the right-hander. Ground ball slowly hit to the right side for Forsythe. He hustles it over the first, and that's it. Yankees get a hit, nothing else here in the 8th. 7.5 are complete at Tropicana Field. It's 3-2.
Adam Warren on the night, probably his best start of his career. A high slider, got a little help from McCann there, framing it all over the edges, though, as he put the pressure on the Tampa Bay Rays hitters. 4 of these strikeouts are looking on the night, and had a good changeup, finishes with a flourish. Adam Warren, 7 innings pitched, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts.
7 strikeouts is a season high as Andrew Miller, who hasn't worked in a few days. He's in relief here. And, of course, Miller, 13 saves, 13 chances, hasn't allowed a run, 15 2/3 innings, 23 strikeouts. The numbers are all outstanding for Andrew Miller. And the next pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Kevin Kiermaier, who's 0 for 3 on the night. And he'll be followed by Steven Souza Jr. and Evan Longoria here in the 8th. Call, strike 3. Miller caught looking. I should say Kiermaier caught looking by Miller. Although Miller looked at it too, didn't he?
Either way, you know, Kiermaier's got the fastest at-bats I think I've seen in a while. I mean, he puts it in play early or strikes out quickly.
Chase Adley, of course, now at third base after pinch hitting. And Drew will move over to second. On our Hyundai scoreboard, it is 3-2 Rays.
Having Miller in the game obviously is more of a need for work. Traditionally, you'd hold your closer back on the road in case you do tie this game up, so he could pitch the bottom of the 9th or potentially extra innings. But Joe Girardi opting to go ahead and get him some work tonight and keep this a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 8th.
Strike 2 to Souza Jr., who has hit a home run and struck out twice. Brad Boxberger, who got to save last night, is warming up in the Rays pen. Maybe the feeling is if the Yankees score at the top of the 9th, they'll leave Miller in there.
Leave Miller in, or you got Betances too.
Yep. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 up and 2 strikeouts for Andrew Miller. Third time that Souza Jr. has struck out. to go along with the home run.
97. Cheddar up the ladder.
I think he was checking with the umpire just to see if that was a strike. I do not think it was. I think he went up the ladder and chased it.
If he thought that was a strike, he's got issues.
It was after he swung at it.
Yes.
Here's Longoria, who's 1 for 3. Breaking ball hangs outside for ball 1.
Down on that Rays bullpen, Boxberger's quietly 9 for 9 in saves.
There's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Under the radar, really good year going.
Yeah, he's filling in for Jake McGee, who has
been displaced at this point.
Well, he might be back soon from the disabled list.
We'll go right into the setup role then.
1-1 pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Strike 2. Well, the layoff hasn't hurt Miller. He hasn't worked since May the 8th.
It's a longer stretch than I thought.
Swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down on strikes. Sets him down like 3 flat tires.
Ooh,
Kiermaier, Souza Jr., and Longoria all strike out. TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD, over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, a pitch tracking widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. New pitcher is Brad Boxberger. Also in the outfield is Brandon Guyer. He's taking over in left field. So Boxberger, who got the save last night, as David told you, he's 9 for 9 in saves this year. And he's going to face the top of the order for the Yankees. It'll be Ellsbury, Gardner, and Rodriguez. Yankees down by a run here in the top of the 9th. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Ellsbury is 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Ball is hit in the air to left field. They're going to test Guyer right away, but he's there and makes the catch for out #1. Fans, stick around for highlights and analysis and clubhouse reaction on the WB Mason post game. After the final out, Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry in the studio to break it all down. Plus, Meredith Marakovitz gets the key quotes for the players. It's all coming up on the WB Mason post game, only on Yes. Brett Gardner's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Boxberger has a very good fastball, a good breaking ball, and an excellent changeup. He's got the starter stuff, working as a closer now in the absence of Jake McGee. First pitch misses, ball one. McGee should be back pretty soon.
He's close. Yes.
He's had some rehab assignments in the minor leagues. He's recovering from off-season elbow surgery. It wasn't the Tommy John variety. It was he had a bone chip in there, and they took it out. Pitch to Gardner, and that misses. Not by much. 2-0. Boxberger thought he had a strike. Yankees have 10 hits, but they're all singles. That's in their first strike after 5 home runs in the first game.
Well, Iasonia, the home plate umpire, has been consistent. That ball was low again, but he's called that tonight. That's a tough spot for it, though, on a 2-0 pitch.
Yeah, you're looking for something you can hit a little harder than that. Swing and a miss. There's a good fastball. 2-2.
After the generous 2-0 call, above the belt, Gardner late.
Count remains 2-2. On deck is Alex Rodriguez.
That's why he didn't get pinch run for in the 7th inning, right here.
That's right.
This spot right here.
Foul tipped into the glove of Wilson, and Gardner has struck out. The Yankees are down to their last out.
You see where he wants it. He wants it up, and he gets it up just above the belt, even though it's in the middle of the plate. Gardner swings under it. Good separation here. I mean, 94 miles on the top end here, and his changeup's in the upper 70s. So back and forth, Boxberger's game.
The Yankees' last extra base hit Monday night in the 9th inning, a home run by Mark Teixeira. Alex Rodriguez also homered in that game. He's 1 for 4 tonight. First pitch is in there for a call strike. Alex had a single his last time up. One and one. Kevin Cash. If the Rays hold on, they'll move within 2 games of the Yankees in the American League East. In the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. And the Yankees would have lost 2 in a row for the first time since April 14th and 15th. And that was way back in Baltimore. Swing and a miss. Alex Rodriguez down to 1 knee.
Sitting fastball, sees it on the inner half of the plate and unloads. The only problem is he got the changeup. Reggie-like swing down to 1 knee, as you said.
Yeah, he had faraway places on his mind. Outfield is deep, straight away. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's your ball game. The Rays win this one by a score of 3-2. And they do climb within 2 games of the Yankees in the American League East. Alex Rodriguez strikes out. Boxberger will pick up his second save